Respect, bro.
Great work.
Appreciate it.
Great work.
Damn.
That was good.
I'm going to train again.
There is a saying, I would say, there's a saying that a happy fighter makes a dangerous fighter, in the sense that if you put them in the right environment and their brain is receptive of what they're being taught, they're going to be more in tune with what they're going through.
3, 2, 1, let's go.
So I'm actually like, give me more, give me more, give me more.
That's his mindset in everything he does, whether it's training, whether it's work, whether it's helping other people.
Fight night approaches rapidly, and Anthony Joshua demonstrates complete focus with every signal from training camp, revealing someone approaching this challenge with maximum commitment.
You know, so I use YouTube a lot, where there's a lot of videos what I listen to, and I update it, and I can always revert back to it when I'm feeling low to get a bit of motivation. Fear comes in many forms. There's some things that I can't get over and I'll always be scared of, but I take the positive from it. Like, I'm never so confident I'm gonna win. It's probably the fact that I'm scared to fail.
Coaches aren't meant to understand that you're tired. Coaches aren't meant to understand that you have emotions. Coaches are just supposed to look at you like you're a machine, and they just want results. I may be tired, but I just got to bite down on my gum show, because if I can perform to an elite level when I'm tired, imagine what I can do when I'm at rest and when I've got energy. I've been through them days where I'm looking for sympathy, and you just don't get it in sport, but you don't get it. I always knew there could be the most talented fighter out there, especially in our industry. If they can't sell tickets, they can't put bombs on seats, they'll never showcase their skills to the world, no matter how good they are. And that's why I say you have to have marketability and you have to have ability. And when you bring those two worlds together, it's a recipe for success.
No relaxed attitude exists. No showcase mentality surfaces. Only brutal training sessions where AJ refines his physical readiness, polishes his punching sequences, and dedicates himself to a rigorous and intensity-focused strategy. This represents genuine competition, not publicity. It demands precision dominance and ensuring that zero vulnerabilities exist once combat commences.
To stay humble means treat the person who is beneath you in a different class to the same person who's above you in a different class. It's an equal playing field, and we have to treat everyone with the same respect. And that's why, you know, people fight for equality. And I think that's important. And that's why I mix stay hungry and stay humble together in such a fine way that they gel together well. Stay hungry, stay humble.
Joshua understands the platform looms enormous, the attention overwhelming, and the demands stratospheric. And that precisely explains why his methodology stays purely professional.
That's it, and again. Good, and again. Good, 2 more. 1 more of them. Good.
You have to find it within yourself. If I've got to tell you to get up, and I've got to tell you to go to work, and I've got to tell you to do everything, then until that person stops telling you, you're never going to be able to achieve anything. So that's the best piece of advice I've been given, is find it within yourself to be motivated. You've been blessed with a brain, heart for emotions, spiritual connection.
While hours diminish, the message from camp is clear. AJ refuses coasting through this occasion. He commits completely, resolved to eliminate uncertainty before he enters the ring. Meanwhile, Jake Paul pursues equally intensive preparation, advancing his sessions with stronger sparring opponents and refining his footwork while he prepares for the greatest challenge of his pugilistic path.
There's very clear paths to being able to beat Anthony Joshua. Something about him. I was supposed to fight Gervonta and then go and fight Joshua maybe next year. When Gervonta got into his whole fiasco, Joshua was one of the first names on the list. I would say he's definitely was surprised and maybe thought I was just all talk and not actually wanting to do it and just saying it for hype. I think that's what a lot of people think when I say crazy things like fighting Canelo or Bud or Joshua. So I think he was actually surprised to get the deal done.
Belief stays elevated, yet the effort demonstrates recognition of what approaches, extended rounds, stricter protection, and continuous focus on enduring offensive onslaught. As time runs out, Jake's team emphasizes action over words, understanding this transcends simply another celebrity spectacle, rather a battle that determines how legitimately his fighting pursuit gets evaluated.
I don't want to ask you about a prediction for Jake Paul and Anthony Joshua because I think a lot of people know what will happen, but is it dangerous for Jake Paul to be taking on a big heavyweight? You're a heavyweight, man. I wouldn't want to get punched by you here. Is it very dangerous for Jake Paul to be able to take on?
I mean, no matter what it is, it can be an exhibition fight or whatever fight it is. When two guys step over that rope and they got bad intentions or they ready to throw blows, it's always bad. You got to understand that boxing is a dangerous business and the head is not meant to be hit in the first place. Doctors will always tell you the head is not meant to be hit, the body is not meant to be hit, the head is not meant to be, the brain is not meant to be shook.
While Jake Paul's team intensifies their concentration during closing days, the broader fighting community discussion has intensified as well, with Jim White, Simon Jordan, and Adola Depot characterizing the contest on TalkSport as an occasion that combines entertainment with genuine implications. As the matchup approached within 7 days in Miami, the group recognized the event's enormous financial attraction while questioning how this pairing received approval, mentioning Florida's history for sanctioning unusual battles. Jordan contended that Paul's position stems primarily from financial power rather than athletic achievement, emphasizing that although Paul attracts viewers and memberships, the skill difference between him and a former undisputed heavyweight king remains significant.
If AJ was fighting an area level heavyweight now, it wouldn't go beyond a round. I'd expect AJ to get rid of him, let alone AJ being 40 pounds heavier. The Americans look at AJ slightly different to how we do. They look at him as someone that's washed up. When he was in their country, he got beat by Andy Ruiz, who's not gone on to do anything. If Andy Ruiz went on to have this glittering career, then it maybe would have made that defeat look a lot bigger. They watched him recently get defeated by Daniel Dubois. They think he's done. So they don't have respect for him maybe the way we do over here. So Jake thinks he can win. I've been around Jake and he's delusional, but he's very strong-minded. So he thinks he can win, but there's no way this should go beyond 3 minutes.
Who's the A-side? Who walks into the ring first?
AJ walks into the ring first, so Jake Paul's the A-side.
White steered the conversation toward the monetary truths, explaining why championship athletes would embrace such chances. Meanwhile, Olau contributed balance to proceedings by acknowledging Paul's contribution to fighting awareness and marketing, especially via contemporary channels. Together, they concluded that despite the promotion, this constitutes a legitimate contest with authentic dangers, and that if Joshua fails to eliminate Paul convincingly, it might derail strategically planned upcoming opportunities. From our vantage, and where you're presumably observing from, the agreement was obvious intrigue will generate enormous audiences. Yet after the bell sounds, the sport's merciless pecking order is anticipated to re-establish itself.
I think I heard you mention there are two behemoths involved here. How is Jake Paul a behemoth?
He's a behemoth in terms of his following and in terms of the pulling power he has. He's now, whether hardcore boxing fans want to admit this, he's one of the faces of boxing. And that's saying something. Like, the amount of people that put their hands up to want to fight Jake Paul when they realized the Gervonta Davis fight weren't happening. He can, like, Alexander Usyk says he wants to fight him. Like, that's one of the biggest names in the sport. There aren't that many people.
You love the sport, Addy, and you love working in it. Is it an uncomfortable truth, if you like, that Jake Paul is part of the top flight boxing scene?
While the Talk Sport Conversation, directed by Jim White, Simon Jordan, and Aid Oladipo, emphasized the financial significance and oversight concerns regarding Jake Paul facing Anthony Joshua, the discussion inevitably extended into responses from competitors themselves, especially Michael Bisping. Responding to the increasing volume of prominent forecasts supporting Paul, Bisping voiced obvious skepticism regarding the notion that Joshua might be stopped by a content creator turned fighter, even while recognizing how bizarre it seems that the battle is genuinely scheduled. He referenced statements from personalities like Tyson Fury, who openly declared he would expect Paul to deliver a knockout, and Demetrius Mighty Mouse Johnson, who implied Joshua's previous defeat losses demonstrate weakness.
Well, we had Tyson Fury. Tyson Fury, a tremendous world champion, one of the best boxers of his generation. Apparently, and I don't know if he's serious, but he says that he put £1 million on Jake Paul to knock out Anthony Joshua.
Seriously? Jake Paul chins AJ, yes, they fight.
Are you serious?
100%. If they fight, I'm putting £1 million on Jake Paul.
Now, we know, first of all, that Tyson Fury doesn't really like Anthony Joshua. So maybe he's just saying that. Maybe he's talking shit. Or has he really put £1 million on? Because if he has, I want to see that betting slip. And could you imagine if it came in? I don't know what the odds on Jake Paul knocking him out are, but they're going to be pretty big.
From Bisping's viewpoint, those opinions distort reality, particularly when measured beside Joshua's Olympic credentials, championship caliber background, and established victories against premier heavyweights. Though he acknowledged that Paul has progressed, possesses certain strength, and earns recognition for accepting risky matchups, Bisping characterized the mounting confidence around Paul as evidence of how warped the contemporary boxing dialogue has evolved, rather than a demonstration of genuine competitive equilibrium. Bisping progressed deeper by establishing the conversation in boxing basics and jeopardy, insisting that Joshua is beyond simply a famous name, rather an experienced heavyweight with velocity, coordination, and battle-finishing capability that Paul has never encountered. He dismissed the theory that Joshua would require to jab and retreat or compete defensively. Conversely, maintaining that Joshua has consistently proven he can hold his position and destroy physically threatening adversaries, referencing the conclusive knockout of Francis Ngannou as a recent demonstration.
Anthony Joshua to have to dance around the ring, get on his bike, play cat and mouse, dancing around, pick his shots and stick and move. No way. Remember what Anthony Joshua did to Francis Ngannou in Saudi Arabia? He stood there, toe to toe, waited for the opening, threw a right hand. It was like absolute lightning and the power was crippling. Every single right hand that Anthony Joshua threw, he dropped Francis Ngannou, who is a gigantic human being who does have truly one-punch knockout power, as we know.
I need to knock him out.
I like that.
So Mighty Mouse, love you, bro, but what on earth are you talking about? Let's carry on.
Responding to rumors regarding the bout being scripted or weakened by secret arrangements, Bisping referenced Eddie Hearn's strong rejections and the lawful consequences of sanctioned boxing, observing that the credibility and governing repercussions would be disastrous if these accusations were accurate. From our position and where you're presumably viewing, Bisping's conclusion was transparent. Although the showmanship captures interest and discussion, this remains a legitimate bout with genuine peril, and if anyone is prepared to suffer the consequences for underestimating the divide between promotion and heavyweight truth, it won't be Anthony Joshua. Upon reviewing and examining everything collectively, Joshua's focused preparation, Paul's serious but safety-minded training, the talk sports cynicism from Jim White, Simon Jordan, and Audit Oladipo, and Michael Bisping's complete rejection of the underdog speculation, a definite impression emerges for me. This matchup is being marketed as entertainment, yet it's founded on absolutely authentic heavyweight ramifications. I acknowledge Jake Paul for accepting the gamble and for investing actual effort into his boxing evolution, yet training and determination don't eliminate decades of championship background, dimensions, coordination, and battle-ending strength. We might discuss financial influence, authorization, and storylines constantly, yet after the bell sounds, you're confronting a former undisputed heavyweight ruler who has demolished world-class competitors when they committed errors.
Suggestions that the fight might be fixed, but also from people in the boxing world that look at this as a spectacle and look at this as a circus, a sideshow, a freak show attraction, and also something that is extremely dangerous. Because if this is a real fight, And apparently it is, so we'll go with that. There's a very good chance that somebody gets hurt. And I'm sorry to say, because I love Mighty Mouse, it ain't going to be Anthony Joshua.
I mean, we seen the Mike Tyson. That was all fun. That was cute. You know what I'm saying? It's fun and games and stuff. But now you're dealing with a real professional, you know. And so we'll see how it ends up. You know, like I said, I think it's...
From my perspective and where you're observing from, this appears less like a puzzle and more like an examination of how extended Paul can control jeopardy before heavyweight truth intervenes. My forecast is Anthony Joshua by premature finish, not because Jake lacks bravery, yet because boxing has a savage method of reminding everybody that tears exist. And at heavyweight, those instructions manifest quickly and without mercy. To conclude it completely, this bout exists at the crossroads of aspiration, commerce, and heavyweight truth. We've got Anthony Joshua treating this like a legitimate competitive obligation. Jake Paul entered into the most hazardous examination of his boxing existence, and perspectives across the discipline, from journalism to competitors, mostly agreeing that promotion can outpace physics eternally. That doesn't eliminate the fascination or the courage displayed, yet it does establish the stakes transparently. This isn't merely entertainment, it's ramification. Now, I need to receive from you, does Jake Paul possess anything we're missing, or is this precisely how most heavyweight imbalances conclude after the bell sounds? Share your perspectives in the comments. Let's argue it through. And yo, don't ever forget to like, share, and subscribe to Boxing Signals. See you in the next one.